Greetings everyone, today we'll talk about Synapse and AMPREX. I decided to put two weapons here due to similar mechanics, stats and builds. Let's start with a quick comparison between them, so you'll be able to understand pros and cons. These two weapons firing a continuous electricity beam within 20 meters range, with the difference that AMPREX beam chains to a nearby targets, while Synapse has a single beam. Alright, here's the stats. Both rifles have a base electricity elemental damage, with a 50% crit chance and 200% crit damage, which of course makes them a crit weapons. However, here lies the differences. Even that Synapse has a higher damage, AMPREX deals more damage per second due to doubled fire rate differing from Synapse, which leads to even faster ammo consumption. Same goes for status chance, AMPREX has a twice more of that than Synapse. Cause 20% per second is something you can work around with, and 10% per second is just decent. The only downside that AMPREX has to Synapse is 2.7 versus 1.5 seconds reload. Basically you're reloading half time you emptying the clip. Generally, AMPREX can be represented as upgraded Synapse, despite being one mastery rank lower on requirements. Well, time for the builds now. This is gonna be a 5-former build with 3 EV, and 2 bar polarities, serration and split chamber first, then point strike that will boost crit chance from 50 to 125%. This means that you'll have yellow crits 100% of the time and still have a 25% chance for the red crits. Vital Sense that provides crit damage boost from 200 to 440%. And if you want Synapse and AMPREX to be versatile and last long on high-level missions, you will need ammo mutation. All these go for the basics of the build, so now there's 3 slots left, and they are reserved for elementals, therefore no critical delay cause red crits are not that superior to have damage per second loss due to fire rate reduction. No hammer shot and no heavy caliber cause there's no room for them. But here's some demonstration of heavy caliber anyway. Check for those blue dots that hit the wall. This is how shots actually getting landed. You may not notice those on AMPREX, but be sure that it works exactly the same. Synapse just has a better visuals. Okay, let's move to elemental builds for factions. For Grineer missions, with ferrite armor units mostly there's always a void build. For Grineer missions, with alloy armor units mostly, we'll go with radiation and viral. Equip Hellfire that will combine with the base electricity into radiation damage, and after that add infected clip with cryo rounds for viral damage. You will have very close damage numbers on both elemental combos, meaning that they both should proc more or less equally. For Corpus we'll go with magnetic and toxin, even that I stated that toxin itself is more effective for Corpus since it bypasses shields. We are forced to combine base electricity on Synapse and AMPREX with anything else, therefore there's not that much toxin damage as desired. Anyway, put Stormbringer with cryo rounds for magnetic damage, and add infected clip for toxin damage. You can actually try to boost toxin with malignant force for the cost of ammo mutation, but only if you have one rifle scavenger in the party or just some ammo restores, otherwise you'll be out of ammo on long runs again. For Infested there are 2 ways. With the introduction of Mutalist Ospreys, they become that borderline of light infested I never paid attention to, due to low health compared to Ancients. But now I'm actually considered to build weapons with an amendment on them, so for the missions without Ospreys, we concentrate on Ancients by adding Stormbringer and Infected Clip that combine with base electricity into boosted corrosive damage, and put a Bane of Infested on top of it. No malignant force because Bane give a bit more damage and corrosive proc have no effect on Infested. And for the missions with Ospreys, we'll go with corrosive by adding Stormbringer with infected clip again and fire damage by equipping Hellfire. For corrupted we will use corrosive and cold setup as always, so simply go with Stormbringer and infected clip for corrosive damage, and put cryo round for cold damage that will help you to deal with the shields. If you will feel like you need more status, feel free to use event status mods. That's all for the builds, so here's some additional info. I believe most of you know that Volt has a very good synergy with those kind of weapons. So yes, it's a common tactic to use Synapse and AMPREX with Electric Shield for infinite range and additional electricity and crit damage. The word on AMPREX, it does chain up to 3 nearby targets, and despite the chain damage deals half of the previous target damage and can't score headshots, it by all means can crit and apply status effect. Also don't forget to aim for the head, and for constant ammo pickups you better go with Carrier as your sentinel of choice. Let's summarize all the things we talked about. Synapse is a good weapon, but AMPREX just really feels like improved Synapse with some tweaks on its parameters. AMPREX has a better DPS for a single clip, and Synapse has more sustained DPS due to shorter reload. But again, AMPREX has additional damage from chains, so let's just stop on that DPS is very close to each one. Generally, I would recommend AMPREX over Synapse due to all these reasons. But I will promote Synapse anyway, for anyone who need a quick reload. Well, I guess I covered everything I wanted to, so if you like this review, please subscribe for more and thanks for watching.